Hello, Em.
Hello.
Today we will discuss a little bit about your visit here to the farm. It's been almost 6 months since you were here.
Yeah, I think I was there in April to May this year. So what is that? Yeah, that's almost exactly 6 months
Yeah.
ago.
And you were here for 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Would you
Yes.
mind sharing a little bit about why what was your intention when you came to the retreat?
So my main intention was to heal my physical body. I three times in the last couple of years before I went to the farm, I got this inflammatory cysts in my body that I had to get surgically removed. And even though the doctor said to me that this was just something random that happened to some young women and that it had nothing to do with me or my lifestyle choices, I knew that that wasn't true. Like I could feel so deeply in me that like, here's something that I'm doing either like on a physical level or on a spiritual level that causes these cysts. And just having those and having to go through the entire process of having them removed 3 times, I was like, no, I'm not doing this again. I need to like really go deep into the core and see what it is that that actually causes this. So that was like my first, I would say, physical intention, because I knew that that was something that I really needed to deal with. And I was like, I'm never going through that again. I really want to work on that. And then while I was at the farm, like that was my main intention. And then another one, a more like mental and spiritual one that is very connected to the like physical intention with the cysts, was to change behavioral patterns such as people pleasing and things like that I knew was affecting my life in a negative way. So that was the two main things to deal with those.
And what did you experience in and around that? Did you get what you came for, so to speak?
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't had any cysts for over a year and a half now, which I think is a really good mark. And I feel like I have, like, whatever was causing that in my body, that's out.
Yeah.
But for me, like a big thing for me that I did at the farm was the fasting. Now, when I was there in April and May, I think I did a 2 weeks grape fast, grape juice fast, and then 4 or 5 days of the master cleanse. And since the cysts that I got, that they were like inflammatory cysts, and fasting really helps with working with the body's way to battle inflammation. Like that helped me so extremely much. And I think that like the fasting was such a catalyst for me, because my intention was both like physical and spiritual, but they connect together. And I feel like fasting is so incredible. Like all religions in some sort of way speak about fast, and you're said to become closer to God. But I feel like with the fast that you helped me like facilitate, it strips away so much like unnecessary things from your life. And for me, like I've had a big emotional dependency on food. Like food for me is safety. Like I eat to feel safe. And I still have some of those patterns, but it's just so incredibly powerful to have that coping mechanism like taken away from you completely. And it tears down so much unnecessary, because then your entire routine gets disrupted in that sort of way, because you're so used to like getting like those kicks from having breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or if you feel anxious, you can eat it. But it's just, and it frees up a lot of space within you and in your body to actually go within and to heal instead. Like that's the main thing, that there's so many processes that start in with like breaking down food and anything, and your body can really, I feel like your body is resting in a very deep state. I know you also told me that like animals, when they are sick, and they want to heal, what do? They go and lay down alone in a corner and not eat. And that's basically what I did a little bit with the fasting. So that helped me a lot too when it came to the physical thing, but then also the like more mental part with like changing, because it's all intertwined, right? Like even though that was a physical, and I had another like mental and spiritual one that I wanted to change, like behavioral patterns that wasn't serving me anymore. I didn't really realize it before, but I do have very strong people pleasing tendencies. I really do. And for me, that's also like, I realized that both the food and the people pleasing is a coping mechanism for me to feel safe. And in the same way that the fasting facilitates the like physical healing, that also strips away and like really exposes my behaviors in that sort of way. So it was very important for me to become aware. Like that's what it was. It really created an awareness for me and be like, oh, I really don't want people to dislike me. Or it's like, wow, it really bothers me, like what other people think of me. Or, and also like you taught me about like the concept of like fawning and all those things. I just became so aware of my own patterns through it. So like the fasting really helped with both those things. And then I mean, then it's the way that the classes are built up at the farm that really supports that environment. Like it's also like learning to be still was really important for me too, to like, you feel like shit from the fasting, like you can get horrible detox symptoms. But it's also so much about being aware and then just like accepting that, okay, my body gets this insane craving for food now. It feels like it's gonna, like, I thought that I would maybe before, if someone would ask me what would happen if you drank only grape juice for 2 weeks, I would be like, I wouldn't think that you would die, but I would be like, yeah, that would be physically impossible. You would die and you would feel like absolute shit from it, or that it wouldn't serve you and it would be. But for me, it's been completely life-changing. Like I feel in my gut, like in my gut health, that it feels completely different. And like the way that my intestines run, like I feel a lightness in my stomach that I couldn't feel before.
It's incredible with the fasting, because it's not only a catalyst for the physical healing, because you give the whole system, as you said, you give the whole system a deep rest, and you activate like all of the body's self-healing mechanisms. And here at the farm, we also work extremely deep with the grounding and the nervous system. So those things combined really activates the self-healing mechanisms. But what it also does, both the fasting and the nervous system work that we do, it's to expose or catalyst, or it removes the protection layer that we have to access the emotional state. So all the like, not all, but everyone is different, but it's so much easier to access anything that you have unprocessed. And with the mirroring and the coaching that we also provide, then we can tell you what we see. And that's when we start to work with the emotional stuff, the underlying issues, and then we can educate you and mirror to you about the fawning. So fawning is a nervous system response to unsafety, and it's when you adapt to the environment. People pleasing, and people pleasing is huge. There's so many people who are people pleasing. I mean, it's such a deep thing.
Yeah, and also for me, you think when you like hear of the concept of people pleasing as well, like your normal, like it's societally, like it's not seen as like a super bad trait or anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're not aware of like the dangers of like, I would say like constantly like, for me, people pleasing was that I was constantly like overstepping my boundaries.
Yes.
And I think that is very connected, as you said, with like the nervous system and like really letting the body rest and taking it easy. Because I used to, that's the thing that I really feel has gotten a lot better for me since I left the farm, or a thing that I take with me is like when someone asks me something, like my immediate response is to be like, oh, what does this person want me to say? Or like, okay, what is this person's point of view? And like whenever someone asks me a question, like instead of what I actually would need to do is to just like take a deep breath and be like, okay, what do I actually feel? Or like, okay, to actually think and to set that boundary and say that I need time to reflect before I respond to this. And of course, to do that in a more like, I don't do that every time someone asks me something at work. I like pattern it in
Every
like
question. Let me.
yeah, it's like
Yeah. No, but when you feel like that is triggered, that you
yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
But that's just, I think that that is also a way with the, as you said, that you do so much with like the nervous system. Also, I wasn't really aware of how the nervous system worked, and like how, like I would say, like stress cycles work, and to live in like the blue zone and all of those things. That's a thing that I bring with me, like that I brought home with me to Sweden now, is to really like help my nervous system. So like all of these mechanisms that the farm really facilitates, like all the healing and stuff, to support that in my own environment in cold Sweden alone. But to really make sure to like end stress cycles each day, and to check in, and to just, I used to, before I came to the farm, I've done a lot of yoga and stuff, but it used to be really difficult for me to like breathe deep into my belly, to take really deep belly breaths. And I couldn't really do that. Or I mean, I could do it, but I was like, oh, this is so uncomfortable. I really didn't want to do it. But I realized that that was because like I had something like stuck there. And it was, I don't know what to say, but it was, yeah, I had to like work through so much to be able to take those deep breaths. And like while your body is relaxing, like see, when you're going down, you can also start feeling worse as well. And that's, I think that's also a different way of seeing how to relax, because you think like, oh, relax, like just lay down and take a few breaths and then you're gonna start feeling good immediately. But then you're like, why am I feeling horrible even though I'm laying down here resting? And then I realized that that's, or you told me that that's like when the body's releasing things, or you're starting to access those things that are deeper down, which I think is a thing that is super cool. And that is something that I do really bring that with me all the time, because it really did create an awareness that I didn't have before.
Yeah, it feels like you learn. I mean, it feels like you literally let go of a lot of things when you were here. It's like you cleaned out your stomach, you cleaned out like a lot of emotional stuff, and we worked through a lot of the behaviors. And so the retreats, they are like a condensed cleaning station, or it's like someone said that it's a rehab for the soul. Someone said, but it's like a body, mind, spirit cleanse, so to speak. So it's like people do feel lighter, and then you release a lot of things when you leave here. But then when you come home, then you also have a different toolkit and a different awareness, as you said, and a different way of looking at things, and not as attached to things. And then things start also to change. So that's why I think it's so interesting also to talk to you like now 6 months later, because I mean, just looking at you and talking to you from that person that was here 6 months ago, it feels like you have matured so much, and you feel so much more grounded and like stable. And the people pleasing is, I mean, it's like you left so much behind.
Yeah, totally. I also like the last 6 months is when I actually started to begin to feel like an adult.
How old are you?
I'm
For the
27.
27, yeah, and that's
Yeah.
pretty young to start working with these things, you know,
Yeah,
which is
absolutely.
very
Yeah.
good. I mean, if I would have started when I was 27, I mean, then I probably wouldn't be here because, yeah,
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
have solved everything already
Yeah. I
much
know. But
earlier and moved on and had another life.
yeah, well, all things come to us in different forms,
Yes,
in
of
different
course.
times.
No, but that's
Yeah.
also very impressive, you know, to work with people who are young and who are that aware, because most of the time when people are younger, they have so much life force, so it takes them a while to really want. There's other things that people want to do than go
Yeah.
and do a 2-week juice fast and feel like crap for a while.
But I always have to like explain that to people that like I'm really old. Like,
I'm
like
an old soul. No,
I
but
am a really old
yeah,
soul. Like in that sort of way. And I think for me that I feel like I since I had worked through some things before I came to the farm now as well, I do feel that I am very, like I was so open and ready to like receive this information and to have my body actually heal, because it
yeah,
knows that this is what it needs to move forward. Like I'm a very, what should I say? Like I'm very driven by like moving forward, and to be able to move forward, you have to let go of things that have been
yeah,
holding you back in the past. And I was just so ready to like step into something new and
yeah,
to like rid myself of lots of old patterns and behaviors. And like my physical body was holding me back with the cysts, and in some way I'm very grateful for that I had that physical manifestation and something that really showed me like, something that you're doing is not working and you need to deal with this now. And since like the Western, like the hospital here, there was like nothing really, they never asked me, is like, oh, what are your lifestyle choices, or like how have you been feeling, or like nothing like that. It was just like, oh, this is just a random thing that happens to young women, can't do anything about it. But
I
and
love
I
that. It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, and I'm just like, guys, it's so weird. And then I'm just like, yeah, I think because I could feel so clearly that like, yeah, probably like I could just like see that like there were so many things in my lifestyle that I was doing. But I think that is the thing with I'm so like, I talk so much about the fasting, but for me it was
Yeah,
just the amount of space it frees up, and to see your lifestyle choices at home,
mm,
and like how well you can, like you can change them. And like also like a fact to know that like a different life is possible, that
yeah,
like if you come in with like with an open heart, and you truly want to change, and you're ready to receive the message and to take your wisdom and listen to you and commit, like there's like basically, it's just like nothing better that you can do for yourself. And I also think that's a very nice space that you also provide at the farm, is that like the environment itself is so incredibly nice. It's a farm, lots of little ducks. You live in a really cute, like nice hut, and it's just like forests and the jungle all around and the mountains. So you feel very safe there, which is really good. But then also like, especially with you and me, I feel that I was like held accountable for my actions as well.
mm,
Because as you say with the mirroring, that you like, that's what you do, that you saw my like people pleasing and my belief systems and the way that I was coping, and you like held me accountable for my actions. And for me, like those two things are very separate in my head in the way that I grown up. Like safety and accountability, they usually don't mix.
yeah,
Like either I'm accountable and I don't feel safe, or it's like by someone else, or it's safe and then I can do whatever. like I want, but it's just the combination of those two things, and to just have that like personal space where you can see me and see what I do and then call me out on it in a very safe environment.
Yeah.
Really good for me as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, and it's so cool because what you say, I mean, I really agree what you say, because the people who are very open and who are ready to change, they usually have tremendous, I mean, like extraordinary results. And everyone has, so, I mean, you stayed for 5 weeks and you fasted for half that time. I mean, not everyone does that. So, I mean, it's not what you have to do. And when people arrive, you know, there's a communication of what they want to talk about and what they want to learn, and who's going to work with who, and what kind of feedback does people want, and you know, everything is set up in individually like that. And but since you were so open and so ready and you had such a strong intention, then the mirroring is just like, whoa, and then you just adapt. I could see, you know, the process in you for days, you know, like, and then coming out on the other side like a new person, almost like you just drop that. It's like for us who are here and see people go through, it's like we see them change as they walk, you know. It's like it's so cool. And
you have a really good job.
Yeah, it's very rewarding, you know.
Of course.
To see people grow and to connect to their own spirit, you know, what you say, like, yeah, I mean, fasting is such a profound way to connect to yourself, to whatever is going on, to spirit or God or universe or intuition or whatever you want to call it, because it's such a profound experience. And in that moment when you are kind of shedding skin, it's you have that momentum of change. So then you can really, it's like a cocoon, and you go inside, and then it's up to each and every one, you know, how deep you want to go and how much you want to change. And you were really like, you told me from the get-go, whatever you see, tell me, I want to know, you know. And then for me, that's very easy, because that's a deeper way of shadow work, and that people need to be ready for that. They need to want that, because so everyone's different. But you were very, I mean, usually people who come here, they say like, yeah, I want to know everything. I just tell me. But you really asked for that. And, you know, working through the people pleasing is such a tremendous upgrade for the whole body, because you're completely right that when we don't have our boundaries in order, and then when we adapt to the environment, then we just allow these, you know, people to just walk all over us and our boundaries. And
I just feel like I used to like give a part of me away with the people pleasing, is that like with like constantly overstepping my own boundaries. And it didn't have to be any big things, but it would just be how I communicated with a friend or my parents or like anything like that, that it's like bringing your own power back to yourself. And I think especially as a woman, like it's a very common behavior pattern to do that. That's been like drilled into your head to be a certain way your entire life.
It's massive. So the fact that you are able to change that is fantastic. It's such a it makes a huge difference in the body. Huge.
Totally. I feel and it's so funny with that, like becoming aware of that physical manifestation, that like I do actually feel lighter if because also since I left from the farm, I was really, like we spoke a little bit about that as well, like as a woman, the importance of like being in your yin element, since the entire world is so yang, to actually really prioritize that like rest and reflection part, which is so undermined in modern society. That really helps, like it all connects, but that really helps me with the people pleasing too, that like if I lay down and I
just stepping back, not going in with the not following the crowd, you know, like not the intensity is so strong. Everything is just pushed forward all the time. And just performance, and faster, and separating oneself and allowing yourself to be in your own pace, to listen to the body and listen to the nervous system, and live in your own pace. And that's also where we as women can really access all the magic that we have in terms of creativity, innovation, like just so much we can access. But if we are living in the front line, with this masculine energy, then it's it's a different thing.
The feminine is just so suppressed, like it really is. But it's nice to be rebellious and
to work with your nervous system and do your own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what would you say for the people who are listening, who are contemplating going to the farm? What do you say? What would you like to say to them?
I would like to say that this is such an amazing thing that you can do for yourself. I would say to people that want to come, to like step into it with I think for like anyone that has an intention to heal and feel like there is something within themselves that needs to be addressed in any sort of way. If you have any type of problem, I would say that it's such an amazing thing that you can do for yourself. Like the entire space at the farm just facilitates healing.
Yeah,
like it's I don't know how to say, but it's almost, I feel so different when I'm there compared to everywhere else in the world that I am. Like truly, like of course you, Mark, and Simba, you create like such a like amazing atmosphere because you all have very good energies, yet you all bring your different things to the farm. But then also like the actual environment, there is something magical there. Like there is something in the mountains and in the pond, and like with all the animals around and everything. So like that I think is like one of the most amazing things at the farm. But just if you want to heal and if you want to be in a truly supportive environment where you can, like, it's all of it is so individual as well, right? Like you, just because I did a 3-week fast doesn't mean that that's the optimal thing to do for everyone else. But it's just so catered to yourself. And you also, I think for me, it's also that you get tools to continue on with it in your own environment. But then I would also say that like it's such an exploration within yourself, like all the different classes that you have. Like I've never you have a spiritual sword fighting, which I'd never thought that I would do, which is a really 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 fun to like trying out the different classes and everything. And I would also say like one of the things that I thought was really amazing is like the ice baths and the sauna, and then like incorporating that into your spiritual practice is also super cool. Because like I would say that like doing a fast is the same as lying in an ice bath for 10 minutes. Like it's just excruciating, and like your body is just like screaming to you, like either get out, or if you're fasting, to like please eat a banana. But then like if you really work through it and like sit there and feel through it, when you get out in the other side, like you feel so much better.
Yeah,
yeah,
it builds resilience. I mean, the fasting for me, it shifted the way I looked at the world. I mean, it has changed my life completely. And ice bath is I mean, it's not only healthy, and it helps us coming back into the body, and I mean there's all of these health stuff, but it also builds stress resilience, because you teach the body to be in the body and feel the body no matter what it is that we feel. And I mean, it's not like you need to stay a long time. I mean, personally, I'm not doing long ice baths anymore because I don't want to. I used to, but I don't. I do like 1 second. I just go in and out. but everyone can do whatever they need to do, you know, but what it does is that it builds a stress resilience in the body, and that you can cope with other things better, and that's what we want, you know. And it has tons of different.
But just what you say that like it's so interesting to see, and also when you develop your own practice, that like, as you say, with you with the ice bath, something that used to like align with you to do for like a really long time, then you give yourself the space to just be like, no, I'm doing this for like 1 second now, and then that's perfect. It's just like it's just so cool. And I feel like the tools that I have, as you said, like the ice bath, it builds resilience, but it's the same as with the fasting. It's just that to choose awareness in adversity. I think it's taught me a lot about that, like all the things that I've done at the farm.
I mean, it's the combination of all the different, we have so many different classes, and it's all very strategically chosen to build a journey that people go through, and that we can follow the nervous system and ground the nervous system and become lighter, because we actually release things from the body as we are going through the program. All right, anything final words that you would like to say?
I mean, also, we didn't speak about that now, but I think another thing that I also have been starting doing since I came home from the farm is the TRE. I feel like that has also helped me a lot.
Yeah, that's such an amazing tool.
Yeah, it's so amazing. And like I can like just like randomly when I do yoga, for example, if I do yin yoga and like I feel that my nervous system is like really going down and stuff, I can feel that like my body spontaneously begins like tremoring, and like it spreads all over my body, and it's so cool, and I can really feel such a massive release from that too. So that I wouldn't say that, because that's like a thing that I do that a couple of times a week now at home.
Great.
But also it's also that my body like wants to do it. Like, you know, it just happens, and then afterwards it feels like a great release.
That's it's one of our core practices to work with the nervous system, and it's absolutely life-changing.
It really is. And also like that one, it's grown on me like a bit more sneakily than the other, like, for example, like the fasting, for me it was just like bam, results immediately. The TRE, like
the TRE is a subtle,
it's another slow burner, like it just like takes a while, and it's just like,
but the thing is with the TRE, it doesn't stop growing on you.
No,
it grows slow, but it never stops. So I've been doing TRE for years now, and I'm still like blown away. And Simba, we are both providers, but now he's also the teacher trainer, so you can join him to become the provider. And he's now, he doesn't stop being blown away either. It's just it's such a powerful tool. Thank you for bringing
because we never talked about it, because that's exactly how I feel too. That it's just like, it's like the first time I did it, I was like, oh, this is nice. And then like now when I do it now, it's just so powerful.
And
I also feel that it, as you say, that it's so funny that it's the same experience, and you feel that it's like
a lot of people have that experience. They do it the first time and they go like, what is this? And then somewhere along the way they have some profound experiences, and then they continue to do it, and it just grounds the nervous system over time. It's fantastic. All right, thank you so much for sharing everything. Truly appreciate it. I'm so happy to see you in your home environment and see that you're doing so well, and that you've had such a life-changing experience coming here, and that it has such a big effect on you. So I really wish you all the best, and keep up the good work, and thank you.
And bye, everyone.
Bye.